Thanks again for joining us for another tackle tip of the week. This week's tip has to do with vertical jigging for walleye and the use of drift socks. One thing we do in the fall is a lot of vertical jigging for walleye in the deeper holes in the north basin of Chautauqua Lake. We use plugs like this, which is a gotcha, ice jigging rappellas, vibrating baits. One of the issues up there is in the wind. How do you control the boat when it's windy, or if you have a chop on the water? The key to these is you want to stay vertical. So if you're in 40 feet of water, you want this thing to stay vertical down 40 feet. You don't want it to drift out away from you. It won't have the same action. You won't be able to do it. So to keep the boat under control and to keep this lure vertical, obviously you go to a heavier lure. This is a 1 ounce. We use 2 ounce also. But one easy way to slow the boat down and keep that lure vertical is the use of a drift sock. These are Lindy drift socks. This one is 42-inch diameter. This one is 48. And the way these work, most of them have a built-in dump line. But basically this thing, when it's thrown in the water, it deploys, opens up to that diameter, and water funnels through it. So it starts out like this, the back end's only like that. So water is funneling through that, but it slows the whole boat down. So what you do with this, you attach a rope to the line on the drift sock and then tie that off to a cleat. So you want about 9-10 feet of line where it's perfect. There's also a buoy line that you can purchase, and that goes in between the drift sock, tie off, and your rope going to your boat. And what that does, it's got a big foam buoy on it, and it keeps this drift sock, the lines on the drift sock, it keeps those afloat if the boat happens to slow down or if the wind dies down. So the drift sock doesn't just kind of sink in the water. But this is a great way to slow the boat down. Sometimes I use 2. Most of the times all you need is 1 in the center of the boat. But what you want to do if you need 2, usually you want to put a bigger one and you want to drift sideways. So you want to drift, you've got 2 guys jigging off the same side of the boat. So what I do is I put a bigger one up front because the bow is going to want to swing around on you. So the bigger diameter drift sock goes off the bow, and then the smaller one goes off the stern on the same side. And there's several of these on the market, but it's a great way to slow the boat down. There's a little bit of wind, and keep your lures vertical and really work it. So try that, and I hope this helps you catch a few more walleyes. And thank you for joining us for this week's Tackle Tip of the Week. And from Chautauqua Lake, good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us again for another Tackle Tip of the Week. I'm Mike Sperry, and this week we'll be talking about...
What are you doing, Joey? Huh? Get back to work.